Hi. I'm back. Yeah, you guys got me like, listen, my comment section, okay? Infiltrated by the witch Cersei. Yeah. Oh my God. I want to tell that story about how I even met this vessel, this puppet that she's using. Yeah, but like, I figure I might get to that story, but I figure I'll tell more stories about what happened with the fall in heaven just because, like, obviously it's pissing Hera and Cersei off a lot. Yeah, they're like in my comment section. So Hera and Cersei themselves very rarely will come face to face with you. Oh, they've been face to face with me. Yeah. Yeah, they have. Just like the Antichrist. Yes. But what they do when they want to infiltrate you is that they'll use puppets. People. But I call them puppets because once Hera and Cersei get a hold of your vessel, that is what you turn into, a puppet. Yeah, they do something to you where it's like you're their slave and they can control you. It's really sad. Yeah. And that's this one guy in my comment section. He's a puppet for Cersei. I know it's her puppet. Oracle Life, hi. I know it's her, Cersei's puppet. It's not even Hera and Cersei. It's just Cersei's puppet. This one guy, yeah. And Oracle Life knows the whole story about how it happened to him too. But that's for another day. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with the Fallen Heaven and we'll bring it back to Quazz and what happened. And, I'll tell you guys that whole jazz. So, you guys know about the gist of what happened to the Quazz bod. Hera evolved correctly as a man. Lucifer cloned from the original Quazz bod and made a perfect clone, and then he raced up to heaven to say he was God now. Yeah. That was after that happened after Garden of Eden. Yeah. So no one gave two shits about Hera trying to evolve correctly. Nobody cared about the Quazz bod at first. No, because the High Up Evil didn't think it was important. Yeah, only the good cared. Yeah, like the original creator gods cared. They were the ones who kept trying to help Hera, the most evil thing in the universe. They wanted to help fix her soul, basically. So they wanted her to start evolving correctly. That's what the Quazz bod was all about. Hera, the goddess, becoming a correct part of soul evolution. Yeah, I was like, it's really important because Hera she's a goddess, but she never made it to the gods correctly, and she's super evil. What ended up happening with the help of Athena, Aphrodite, Hermes, these were three major gods that were involved with trying to help Hera. Yeah. Because most of the other gods didn't even care. But Hermes, Aphrodite, and Athena wanted to help. Yes, they wanted to make Hera not fucked up. They wanted her to be a part of correct soul evolution. So, with the help of Hermes, Athena, and Aphrodite, those were the main gods involved. Yeah. There were other ones, but I'm going to keep it with the main ones. Hermes, Aphrodite, and Athena. They were the main gods involved in creating a plan to help her evolve correctly. And that's where the Quazz bod came from. So Hera's entire evolution, even correct soul evolution, she needs to clone. Yeah, because she was created from cloning. So she never got a chance to evolve correctly as a person like most of us did. Yeah, the original OG people weren't clones, you guys. We evolved on the planet. There's a difference. Yeah. OGs evolved. The clones were created. Yes. Anyway, Hera was allowed to create the Quazz bod through cloning. She had to. There was no other way for her to evolve correctly. No, there wasn't, because cloning got out of control. And everybody just started cloning. Everything. Not even just people. Everything was being cloned. Even planets were being cloned. Yeah. So Hera had to use cloning to exist, basically, even as a human. The gods knew that. So, with the help of Aphrodite, mostly, at this part, Aphrodite helped her get a body That was through cloning, but it was still pretty original. The Quazz bod was a cloned body, but it was born. Yeah, so it was like born onto the timeline, on the original correct OG timeline. But it was, the soul lineage was through cloning. You guys kind of understand what I'm saying? So it's like the soul lineage connects to cloning, but the body was born onto the timeline correctly. So it wasn't just cloned into the timeline. And that's what most of them do. They just clone and throw their body on here. No, you have to be born. You have to be born to be alive. Yeah, Athena alive. You have to be born to be a part of that. So, Aphrodite helped her, choose a body and like choose a family and all that stuff. And what ended up happening through that is that Hera was starting to evolve correctly as a man. Yeah, Quazz. Quazz was the vessel that was evolving correctly. Yeah. And it was good. Like, there was no real evil in Quazz. There wasn't. Quazz was like pure of heart. Yeah, which is really like, it was like a miracle that was able to happen, because through cloning nobody's pure of heart anymore. That's what ended up happening. Like, when she started once cloning started, nobody became that pure of heart. That was rare to find. But through this one part of soul evolution, with the help of Aphrodite, the Quazz bod and the soul inside Quazz which was Hera's. Yeah, it was the goddess Hera's soul, but it was evolving correctly. And the goddess Hera hated it. She hated herself as Quazz. Yeah, no, she hated it, and she didn't respect Quazz, and she didn't respect Aphrodite for trying, or any of the gods for trying to help her. She was pissed off that they were trying to do this, do Quazz to her. That's what she said. She's like, why are you doing Quazz? Why are you making me be Quazz? That's really what she said. Yeah, she hated it, but it was correct. Anyway, Quazz kept evolving, and still no one cared. The high people didn't care. Just, the gods I mentioned and other gods that were good cared. And eventually what ended up happening is the creator gods, they came up with a new plan for soul lineage, the Garden of Eden. That was all new people. So not all of us are created the same, guys. Yeah, like, my soul's created different, your soul's created different. The people in the Garden of Eden, they were created different than the OG people. Yeah, so the original OG people, we were evolved on the planet. The Garden of Eden people weren't. They were of new soul lineage. Correct soul lineage of Hera correctly evolved as a man. He was a part of that. He was God in that garden. He was Hera. As a man, Quazz was God of the Garden of Eden. Yes. And all the creator gods got involved. The good ones. Yeah, they were all involved with that. And there was a lot of stuff that went on, to create the soul of those chosen people, Adam and Eve. They were created, and cloning was involved. It had to be, because Hera was a part of it. Yeah, but it was done correctly. So their soul was able to evolve correctly. Yeah. There's a lot of science involved with this stuff that I don't understand, you guys. I'm just giving you the gist of what happened. But yeah, there was like DNA and splicing and genes and all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah. Anyway, the soul of Adam and Eve was like a pure of heart soul. Yeah, they were made of pure innocence. They were supposed to be the new people that were going to, basically like the mother and father of humanity. So the OG people, like, I'm part of that. Yeah. We were the old people of humanity. Adam and Eve were the new people of humanity. Yeah, and everybody was on board with this. Like, nobody was jealous of it. Nobody was mad about it. The high up evil didn't even care about this shit at first. Not at first, they didn't, because Quazz was involved. And anytime Quazz got involved, they didn't care, because they hated Quazz. Yeah. Yes, you guys, this body was supposed to be, it was. The original Quazz bod was the god in that Garden of Eden. Yeah, that was God. That was who was Adam and Eve's father. It was Quazz. Yes. The DNA all came from Quazz. The fuck it didn't. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Anyway, so Quazz was a part of this plan of soul evolution. He was God in the Garden of Eden. And what ended up happening was Quazz was, God, and he was doing Quazz was doing correct soul evolution as God, as the God we all viewed as God. There are many gods, okay? But when it comes to soul evolution, at this particular point in time, everybody wanted Quazz to be God, because that was the original goddess who was evolving correctly as Quazz. It was her soul. That's what's so fucked up, is Quazz's soul is a part of Hera. It is Hera. And it's so hard to wrap your head around because Hera is so evil. But correctly, she's this guy, Quazz. Yes, and we love him. He was like the best god we ever had. Yeah, super smart. Quazz was super smart, and he was able to help create the Garden of Eden with the other gods. Yeah. So he was like running the Garden of Eden, and he was the original father of Adam and Eve. Yeah. There's a lot in this that gets involved with this story, and it's super confusing. So like, to create Adam and Eve, like I told you, cloning was involved, and the High Up Evil, they all wanted to, just get the DNA for those clones, but they didn't actually care about making it through soul evolution. They just wanted to look pretty because Adam and Eve were attractive people. Yes, they had new DNA. The High Up Evil wanted their hands on it, but no, the High Up Evil didn't exactly know how to get it because the garden was closed off by the gods, by the other gods. Yeah, the good gods that I'm always talking about. They were like guarding it. Yes. So anyway, what ended up happening? Quazz was God there. Quazz made a set of rules. And there wasn't everything was living in harmony with each other, just like in the original story from the Bible. Yeah. It gets real evil, you guys. And it's all because of Hera and Circe. You got to keep in mind, Hera is Quazz. Hera is God to all of us, correctly as Quazz. But she's also super evil and just wants everything in the heavens for herself. So Hera, doing the Garden of Eden was super hard because Hera was still kind of she was a part of it. And what ended up happening with the fall of it is Hera and Circe concocted another plan. Yeah, they concocted a plan to infiltrate the garden. Just so they could, this is really how heaven officially fell. There was a lot of little things that happened that, heaven was taken over by Hera and Circe. But when Hera and Circe infiltrated this garden and destroyed the new soul lineage for God, this is when it really was the last of it, you guys. So Hera and Circe concocted a plan to infiltrate the garden. And basically what Circe did was Circe has a whole reality where she controls animals. An entire reality. Yeah, it's evil. Yeah, it's always been evil. It's called the Law of the Jungle reality. I'll make a video on that. But she's the one who runs that place, the Law of the Jungle. Through that reality, she was able to infiltrate the serpent. She became the serpent, but nobody knew that. No, nobody knew that. Not even Athena. Not even Athena knew that. And Athena really hates herself for not knowing that. Yeah, because Athena was a big part of trying to keep that reality in check. Yeah, this is how crazy it is with the gods, you guys. Athena was supposed to be making sure that law of the jungle reality stayed away from all of everything that the OG people were trying to accomplish in the future. Yeah. But somehow Circe ended up infiltrating became the serpent in the law. She took the serpent in the law of the jungle reality and she infiltrated the Garden of Eden somehow. Yeah. While Circe was doing that, Hera was merging timelines and she has an alien monster. Yes, she does. The xenomorph alien monster. So Hera is a goddess. Hera is Quazz. And Hera is also this horrendous, terrifying alien. Yeah, her monster. Most gods have one, or they used to, until this thing got created. Again, Hera's alien monster got created through cloning. So it became, it's a cloned monster. It's just like the monster you see in the movie Alien with the mouth. That's what her monster is. And they're all women. They're all just clones of her. Yeah, they're all female monsters. They're all her. And their brains are a constant download of her consciousness. Yeah. So what Hera did was, as this monster, she infiltrated the Garden of Eden and downloaded the consciousness of Adam's brain. You guys, that consciousness of Adam's brain had the entire new soul lineage lineup. It was all in him, in Adam. Yeah. Hera downloaded it. And she ran off with it. Cersei, she became the serpent, and she tricked Eve into eating an apple. This part, Cersei, she thought that by tricking Eve, she was going to be able to curse Eve, which she did. Cersei was able to curse Eve from doing that because she disobeyed God. But because there was sabotage involved, and because it was, Adam and Eve were made of pure innocence, it wasn't coming from Adam and Eve, this devious plan. This was set up by Hera and Cersei. So there's a way back to that garden. Yeah, there is. The curse went through, but there's a way to get back. Oracle Life knows. Yeah, hi. But unfortunately, with downloading Adam's consciousness, that part, I don't know how we're going to get that back. And Hera has it. Yeah. She downloaded the entire the plans, basically. Like, the plans for humanity, for new humanity, were in Adam's brain. So Hera, as this alien monster, she downloaded those plans, and she has it. She ran off with it. The entire thing. Yeah, that was like all the creator gods, every single god that was involved in creating the Garden of Eden, all the plans were in Adam's brain. Yeah. So that's what Hera did, and she ran off with it. I don't even know if Cersei knows where that shit is. Yeah, it was like strictly Hera trying to, in her mind, Hera was like, I'm getting my shit and I'm running off with it. Yeah. So that's what ended up happening. And Quazz was devastated. Yeah, Quazz was devastated. That was his only time to rejoin the gods and become a part of do you understand that? Quazz, as God in heaven, in that Garden of Eden, that was his only chance to become a part of the gods again. And Hera ruined it, and Cersei ruined it. They infiltrated it and ran off with it. Yeah, Hera still has those original plans. Yeah. I know. But that's what happened with the Garden of Eden. And like that alien monster, that thing's no joke, okay? It's the most powerful alien in the universe. It downloads your consciousness. It has psychic ability. And it's powerful. It's strong. Yeah, and it can kill you. It can kill you. What it usually does is it, just like in the movie, it uses our hearts basically as it uses our body as a human host so it can breed new life. And when you don't listen to what Hera says, that's what she does to you. She busts out of you as that alien. That's the punishment. That's her punishment for when the gods or the OGs, when we don't do what she says, then she says that she's going to breed new life from us. Yeah, you guys, she's terrifying. Yeah. Anyway, that was Quazz's part in heaven. He was God in the garden. He was the mother. He really was technically the mother and father of Adam and Eve. I know, Quazz is serious, okay? He has that ability. Quazz has this ability. Super special power about Quazz. He can produce life from himself. He can be your mother and your father. I know. But I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen with like the future of the Quazz bond. I know that it's a serious body and that like the high upheaval's always gonna take it. Yeah, they always take it. But like I don't think they'll ever destroy the Quazz. Like my body pretty super serious too, but they will destroy mine. I don't think ever they're gonna destroy the Quazz bod. That's how serious his body is. Yeah, it's like one of the most amazing things ever created. I know you guys can't handle it because it's Quazz, but his body's one of the most amazing things the gods ever created. Yeah, he has the ability to produce life just from him. None of us can really do that, you know. But because of the origin, the Quazz origin story, and like how he was created, he has that power. Yeah, it's pretty serious. I know. I feel like I'm missing so many parts to the story. It is a long story. And like, if I wanted to get into like just the part with Hera where she became the alien and infiltrated the garden, that'll take a video. The part with Cersei where she thought she was going to infiltrate the serpent and become, because you guys, okay, let me just touch base on this part real quick. There were animals allowed in the garden. Yeah, but the law of the jungle reality wasn't supposed to have anything to do with it. Cersei the witch runs that reality. So what she did, there was correct animals in that garden. That had nothing to do with the law of the jungle. But Cersei, she infiltrated and she put a snake in there that was from the law of the jungle. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be in there. Cersei, she slipped in. Yeah, she slipped in, and that's, Athena feels a lot of guilt for that. Because Athena was supposed to be keeping that reality down.
I'm sorry, did you just
Yeah, and these things happen, you know? It's sad, but like, the high up evil, they're always trying to be one step ahead of the good. Yeah. So no matter how hard you fight and how much you think you're on top of your game, these little things happen. Yeah, and Hera, she didn't give a fuck. She just was like, I'm downloading this guy's consciousness as my monster. So she infiltrated that garden as that fucking thing. Yeah. I think what happens with her and the monster is that she appears to you when she's about to do this to you, download your consciousness, I mean. She appears to you as a beautiful goddess, but it's an illusion. She's really the monster. Yeah, and she puts you into some kind of a hypnosis. This is what she did to Adam. She puts you into a hypnotic state, and then from that, she's able to download your consciousness. Yeah, this is what she did in the Garden of Eden. So it's serious. She ran off with those original plans that were in Adam's brain. That was all of the information, all of the DNA, all of the knowledge that went into creating the garden and the new soul lineage for humanity. Yeah. And Hera took it and ran off. I don't even know if Cersei is a part of that with Hera. Yeah, because like, honestly, I can't, I'm being blocked from channeling that. Oh yeah, listen guys, the gods can block me, okay? Yeah, they can. So, if they don't want me knowing stuff, they can actually block it. Yeah. And I can't reach that information, unfortunately. Yes. There's lots of information I can, though. I can get. But when it comes to that goddess, Hera, a lot of times I'm blocked. Yeah, because she has all of the stuff. She stole everything from everyone. Yeah, and especially when she knows her soul's involved, she doesn't even question it. She just runs to the front of the line and takes. But I guess that's my little tidbit on the garden. I'm going to share some music about the garden, I think, today. And the Garden of Eden. It's a different garden than the witch's garden. And Hera actually has her own separate garden that I haven't told you guys about yet. Yeah, so there's like still a lot. But this is just a little bit of information on how Quazz was the mother and father of the Garden of Eden. And I'll have to, like, if I think of more stuff, I'll make a better video. But right now, that's it. I hope this is a fun way to start your morning, and it's Oracle Life Forever.